Hi, my name is Nick Saifan, retired military, 24 years. I did 4 years in the Navy, 20 years in the Army. I became a licensed contractor in the state of California and a fundraiser for veteran causes, for benefits and assistance to veterans. And then little by little, I kind of got into development because I wanted to find a solution to end asking people for money. I wanted to make money and put it back into the programs that we offer. We're hoping to break ground by the end of the year on our project in Moreno Valley, about 14.5 acres. Hopefully north of 400 apartments and mixed use with some retail and a community center so we can invite the nonprofits. Excellent. So they could do their work.
Excellent. Yeah, we'll get into more of that. All right, Mr. Derek Harms.
Hello all, my name is Derek Harms. I've been in real estate now for 12 years, bought my first property in Barstow 12 years ago for $22,000. It was all the money I could borrow. I've since then been involved in owning mobile home parks, bought properties, tax deed auctions, foreclosures, short sales, owner financing, you name it, I've probably done it. That's kind of graduated into my company now is We Buy San Diego, and we flip a lot of houses, and I've got a portfolio of rentals, and we're doing development as well, so all in San Diego County. I also am the president of the North San Diego Real Estate Investor Association. Marie comes quite frequently, it's nice to see her there. And Steve Matley as well, the guy who did the economic forecast. So it's been great, immeasurable to meet so many people and have an organization like that. So anything real estate in San Diego, talk to me about it.
Excellent, thank you. Now, Jonathan, Wild Stallion Preston, Esquire.
I don't know about that, but. So yeah, I'm Jonathan Preston, I'm a lawyer. I've been practicing law now 22 years. Originally started at a title company in San Diego, and that's where I kind of got a feel for real estate closings. I then moved to practice pretty much up to Murrieta about 15 years ago. And my practice primarily focuses on representing contractors in relation to disputes that they have with customers as well as with developers and with other general contractors, sometimes the occasional lender. For real estate matters, we also will assist with current quiet title issues that come every now and then, some specific performance cases. That's when a seller decides to have cold feet and they need a lawyer to encourage them to go forward with a closing. That's probably a common case. Other cases we often get involved with are escrow disputes, disputes concerning commissions every now and then. But that's the real estate practice. We live in an escrow state, which is great. So lawyers are not involved in the closings unless something goes wrong. So that's where I come in.
Perfect. And now we're going to have our presenter, the mayor of Canyon Lake, cool. Jeremy Smith.
Thank you. So I can use the panel to ask questions and answer and facilitate and have fun and make it worthwhile, so we're all excited to be here. My name is Jeremy Smith. I'm the mayor of the city of Canyon Lake. I'm excited to be here. This is totally my group. I work for Lawyers Title, so he mentioned title. That's where my background comes from. I've been in real estate my entire life. I also own several different rental properties, a hotel in Wrightwood. So for me, real estate's in my blood, which is why when Curtis asked me to come and speak, I said, absolutely, I'm here for you. But I want to talk a little bit about what it is to be an elected official in a community, what it means to look at the builders community, the investment community, and kind of walk you through the scenarios of what maybe we're looking for when we get approached. Because like Gina has mentioned in the city of Menifee, they're getting approached day in and day out, and they have to make critical decisions on how they're going to accept certain projects and not, because the community is asking for certain things and not. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that, but I want to open it up for questions too and input from the panel on what you're experiencing. I know you have a project in Moreno Valley. I know you've dealt with several different deed issues and things falling in and out. With your investment background, we can kind of tie in. So I'm going to make this kind of work between all of us so we can all have something to say as we navigate through the process. So I'm the mayor of the city of Canyon Lake, moved there in 2015, and I did not have any desire to serve in politics at all. For me, it was real estate. That's my passion. That's what I've been doing. But I was approached by community members. They wanted me to step up and serve. I had some legislative background. I used to work for a state assemblyman, former senator. I used to work for a congressman. So I kind of understood the ins and outs of how policy works. but I had this passion for real estate. And Canyon Lake is a beautiful community because we're doing some very tricky things, and we're actually opening some things up for builders to come in and looking at new projects. But as an elected official, we get constantly communicated, talked to by different investors and builders because they want projects to take place in that jurisdiction. And there's a lot of pressure on the elected to make sure that they're doing what the community wants, not so much what their best interest is for themselves. And that's where it gets unique. And that's kind of where I want to talk about and maybe throw out some examples on how these gentlemen up here have dealt with some of the issues that we're dealing with, because we're in a different market today than we were during COVID, and things are changing, rates are changing, there's different outlooks that are happening. So the first thing that I want to talk about is what it means when you're sitting down with an elected official and what kind of projects. The first thing is understanding not only the demographics of the community, but the needs and wants of that community. Because that individual, whoever it might be, a city council person, even a planning commission, a parks and rec even, when you're having a conversation with them, their main thesis and thought process is going to be to do what is best for that municipality. So for instance, we've learned a lot about Menifee tonight. They're undergoing so many different projects, as Gina's mentioned. She did a very good job of that. So they constantly have to vet how these projects are going to interact with not just the city of Menifee, but the region as well. What most of you probably don't know is elected officials like the council in Marietta, Temecula, Menifee, Canyon Lake, Wildomar, Lake Elsinore, we all serve on what's called regional boards. And these regional boards are RCTC, which is Riverside County Transportation Council, and they're made up of all of the elected officials in Riverside County, and they have to oversee certain projects in different jurisdictions to make sure that transportation can go through it. So when you're looking through investment projects, like the one that I want you to mention in Moreno Valley, transportation has to be one of the key conversations that's happening, because unfortunately our roads are just getting destroyed right now, and the cities are having to step up and look for fundings to fix those roads, because we can no longer, and I'll say this very clearly, we can no longer rely on Sacramento. And what you'll see is your local leaders are trying to do in this political climate almost the opposite of what Sacramento is doing, because we're trying to survive and take care of the residents. So that the best advice that I can give for our future investors and our current investors is sit down with your local leaders and understand the landscape at which you're trying to invest in. That is the most crucial thing, because if you get them on your side, they're going to be passionate about your project, and they're going to do all they can to help facilitate that and get it through for you.